Hi, we're at the Jasper County Museum. We're going to talk to Ken Barthelman, who's the director here, and he's going to kind of go over what part of his application to the Jasper County Gems was. And Ken is standing in front of one of the new displays that he's still working on, but it will include all the Jasper County banks. And so that's not his whole spiel, but that is definitely an interesting part since we are a county-wide organization. But can you talk a little bit about what your goals were for 2020 before COVID hit, what the museum had some plans for?
Well, yeah, we had planned to do two things. One was free admission to try to encourage locals to come in, and then hope it maybe more nonprofits, foundations, that type of thing would loan us some money or give us some money. And then the second thing was we intended to go out to the business community, which we haven't done really since 2016, because we've learned since 2016 that you can't just do it once. That it kind of takes a face-to-face every time you go. And it became obvious pretty quickly that not only would it not be safe for the business owners or us, but this isn't a good time for a lot of business owners. So that's kind of by the wayside, and God only knows what the situation will be like in 2021. So we're just trying to do what we can to raise funds. We're going to double what we charge out of county visitors. A lot of places on the interstate are $10 or more. They're not going to complain. They like the museum. We get most of our comments from them. But the locals don't seem to want to come. So we're trying to do everything we can possibly do to get them out here. And then if they want to donate some money, fine, but we're not going to require them to pay anything to tour all age groups. So that's the first for us, really. We've never done that before. And you're right, this is about county banks throughout the county. We've got gathered maybe 20, 30 pictures of all the banks around the county. And each one is going to have a picture and then some information on the bank too. So if you're from Newburgh, for instance, you'll be able to find out who started the bank, and maybe somebody you know if you live there now, a relative or something. And it's going to, I think, really broaden the horizon for people knowing about banks. We've never really done anything with banks before. We had the opportunity to get this for nothing other than labor redoing it for what we wanted.
Yeah, it looks really nice, and I know you're not even finished yet.
So it's going to be something new. We've always had some $5 bills, Newton National $5 bills that we've had on the wall, people going up and down the stairs.
Okay.
And they were attached and they were screwed in everything because they're valuable. And now we've got that behind bulletproof glass that came as part of this exhibit.
Okay.
It's that thick, it's kind of cool. So we're going to cover Newton National and Jasper County Bank as well, but a lot of information on the counties, which we always try to include things on the county. We try to include things a lot on Maytag.
I know that sometimes people think the museum is only about Maytag history, but there is like a wealth of knowledge. I'll try to span this, but it's not going to really capture all the essence of it. But it really goes into the different jobs that were in different time periods, and then the scenes are kind of set up as vignettes that kind of just show you what it would be like. And then you have descriptions and pictures that are just outstanding, like that one that at the very beginning. Besides the fact that the museum is Ken has been a wealth of knowledge and information for me and my job, and being able to provide not only history, but also pictures and different memorabilia. So that's another, he's just a resource within our county for a lot of information, but also the pictures that can really help stories and grants and things that you might be going after. So, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but.
Yeah, I enjoy locating the pictures. We did a lot for the work on the traffic markers downtown, traffic boxes.
Yeah.
Locating those.
Yes.
Forever. Sure, get very tired of waiting on me. But
yeah, well, right. Finding the right picture in the right size and all of that. Yes, how time consuming that was for you. But yeah, you have a wealth of stuff here. So in asking for gems, so the museum has put in an application to help them through this period that COVID was, that shut down so many things that had tourists. but the goal was to have in-county residents be able to come here free and then charge out of county residents. And then also you have some new displays going up. He already showed me a coal mining display that they're redoing, the bank display. Are there others ones you want to mention?
I'm finishing up one of the labor unions that I started before I left. Nothing happened while I was gone, so
Right.
that's what I'm finishing up. And we want to do a Maytag, a new room for the Maytag presidents of Maytag. Maytags that are Maytag presidents, there's 4 of them.
Okay.
And because a lot of people get confused on what Fred did and what Fred II did,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and what EH did. So that's one thing, but I don't know if we're going to get it before we open. At the rate I'm going, but it's in the process of brainstorming on it, at least to get it ready to go. And we've done a few things across the way. They even took we've got a really nifty water wagon over there that it was Oilers, what it used to be, and they would oil streets like in Prairie City, I think that's where it came from off the top of my head.
Huh.
And we mounted it up a little higher in the air so it shows up, and we're going to make some copy for it. And when they'll go across the street, there's really a lot over there. Years ago, they spent a lot of time, effort after that building was built.
Yeah, that is a cool.
To lay out farming by walking and then by horse. And then we've got a few tractors, but we really don't go into modern farming over there at all. It's all the earlier farming, horse-drawn. So there's just a whole lot to see here that people have no idea. They come down from the restaurants and they see our north part of our building and it doesn't look very big. And
right.
That was the original part of the building.
Okay.
And then when you come around to the south, you can see it's a 2-story,
mm-hmm.
and it looks much larger, which it is much larger. And, one of our problems is people don't come often enough, and so they'll see this part of the building maybe, but they won't go to the ag building, so they won't even want to do everything here. Since it's free now, there's no excuse not to come out a couple times.
Yep.
In the summer. Bring your kids and come out and check things out.
Well, we definitely appreciate it, and I will just reiterate that it's more than just even us coming. What you guys do for Lunch and Learns and for our kids in learning history and learning not even just history, but like I said, with the jobs and how jobs were done. So a lot of education pieces to the county or Jasper County Museum also. All right. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks.